everybody. I know it's been about a month since I posted a video. I wanted to put up an update of where I'm at in the Preppy medical coding online course. I am still on step 4. I am now in lesson 6. It is a slow going thing. You cannot just bust through it unless you have lots of time to apply to it. But I am back into the habit of doing some every single day, trying to work ahead a little bit when I can, so that on other days when I'm a little slower, it won't put me too far behind schedule. Hope you guys are doing really great with it too. Some of the things that have been going well is that in this section where I'm on the ICD-10 and I'm doing the presentation in Preppy, but then I'm also doing the ebook and then the workbook along with that unit. It seems to work really well for me if I will do something like I will do the presentation on the Preppy side with the little review for one topic, hop over to the ebook and complete the same topic over there through the end of the exercise, and then flip back and forth between that and then at the end the ebook and the workbook both have the full chapter review, so then go back and review the whole thing. That has been working pretty well for me. It breaks it up into some more bite-sized pieces that way. The downside that I'm seeing with that is that Preppy, of course, since it's self-paced, it's not instructor-led, there's no way to ask questions or get feedback. And so, like right now, I'm doing external causes, and one of the things is a burn. And for example, one of the codes for an infected burn should be, it's telling me, a B99.9. But there's no way that I have found of looking that up. It says to find it in the index first and then go to the tabular, right? That's the rule. And under burn, infected, there's nothing. Under infected and burn, there's nothing. This one happens to be on a thigh. There's nothing under thigh. It's almost like you just have to know that an unspecified infected burn is going to be listed in B for infections, and then 99.9 is that unspecified burn. And I'm running into several places where there's things that it's just assumed that you know. Like where to find the extent of burn codes is T21, T31. But Preppy isn't specifically teaching that. And there's no way to ask a question and get instructor feedback or peer feedback or anything like that. So that's where I'm struggling a little bit. Also, in my last video, I talked about I wanted to order the AAPC or AMA books. I did get the AAPC books. I did get tabs. This makes a world of difference when you have coding books that have the yellow lines down them so that you can follow where your columns are at. Huge difference. The books that Preppy provides don't have those yellow column lines, and it makes it very difficult, especially for lengthy topics like infection or anything that has multiple pages of subcategories. So that's a big thing, and I did spend like $400 on other books and other tabs. So that also is like, okay, well, if you pay, $1,500 for Preppy's course, and then you're paying $500 for better books to upgrade your books, then you're at $2,000. And then if you want to do Practicode or practice tests, and then of course the vouchers for your exam, it's all money on top of that $1,500, right? So I really want to do Practico because I feel like with the Preppy course not having any feedback to tell me, are you right? Are you wrong? How, there's just an answer key. So I want to do Practicode for not only speed, but accuracy, but to be referred into the right direction when I do make a mistake. That brings me to the Apprentice A designation on the CPC. When you take your exam, you can get that reduced by a year. It's a 2-year apprenticeship on the CPC. You can have it reduced by a year if you do the Practicode. If you do 600 cases, it will take a year off of it. Also, if you complete a training course that is at least 80 hours, a minimum of 80 hours of training, you can get a year off of that 2-year apprenticeship requirement designation on your certification. Preppy does not count as an 80-hour preparation course, study course, because it's self-paced. I did ask Preppy themselves. They said no, because it is self-paced. We have no idea how many hours you spent doing it. We don't certify the 80 hours. So I'm going to put my opinion out there that the Preppy course is not worth it to save you any time or any money. I personally, if I were to do it all again, I would use the AAPC course. It is a $3,000 course, so it's twice as expensive, but it includes things like the upgraded books, which cost me $400, use of Practicode, which costs $200 to $300. I think it includes 2 attempts at your exam, which is another $400 or $500. It includes your membership into AAPC, which I think was another $200. So you see, it all just compounds, and in the end, you're spending more money on Preppy for a lower quality of instruction. The instructor supported, there's 3 different kinds over at AAPC. There's the entirely do-it-yourself, there's the instructor supported, and then there's the instructor led. And I think it's the one in the middle that's $3,000. And since you're going to spend that money anyway, if you use Preppy, you probably should just go do it with AAPC. So if I were to do it again, that would be what I would do. Okay, hair update. Last time I made a video, and it was in April, and I said, oh, I get to go get a perm. I went and got a perm. It was at the community college where our beauty school is. Nothing permed. They took the rollers out. My hair was completely straight. And they're like, oh, well, just wash it. It'll be fine, right? I'm like, no, that's not how that works. And so I went and saw a person who had permed my hair before. She did a pretty good job, but there are huge pieces of my hair that are just not accepting any perm. You can't see that, but there's like huge pieces. They're not accepting any perm at all. And most of them are the roots, the virgin hair pieces there. So if you are a cosmetologist or a beautician or just know a lot about perms and hair, I'd love you to see you leave me a comment that says, hey, why isn't your new hair growth and splotches of just different places on your head not accepting the perm? And we've used a couple of different kinds. And make sure you leave me a note to tell me where you're at. And if you're having those same issues of, I just can't seem to find a code. It's like it's assumed that you just know. Like in my example, if it's an infected burn, there's not a code for burn infected. There's not a code for infected burn. There's not even an unspecified. So you're just supposed to know to go to B99.9. Let me know if you're having those issues too, because I'd love to get feedback about that. Thank you. Bye-bye.